joint movement generating function. So if x and y are two random variables, okay, the joint movement generating function we denote it as mxy of v1 comma v2. This is the symbol we use to denote joint movement generating function. Mxy of v1 comma v2 is expected value of e v1x into e v2y. Okay, so this is called joint moment generating functions. Okay, so if xy fxy of x comma y is joint then probability density function of these two random variables, then mxy of v1 comma v2, mxy of v1 comma v2 can be written as integral minus infinity to plus infinity, integral minus infinity to plus infinity e power v1x plus v2y f xy of x comma y dx dy. This is the formula to find out the joint moment generating function if the probability density function is given. Okay, so this is the formula for continuous random variable. This is the formula we use for continuous random variable. Okay, so if x and y are discrete random variables, in the case of discrete random variables, the joint movement generating function will be given as mxy of v1 comma v2 can be given as summation with respect to m, summation with respect to n, okay, e power vm v1 m1 xm v2 yn. Okay, here what we'll be having, we'll be having probability mass function that is xm comma yn. Okay, so this is the formula we use to find out the joint movement generating function in the case of discrete random variable. The first property of joint movement generating function is that marginal movement generating functions, okay, can be obtained from joint movement generating functions. So what are the marginal movement generating functions? It is mx of v1 can be obtained from mxy of v1 comma 0. Similarly, my of v2 can be obtained from mxy of 0 comma v2. Okay. Similarly, we know that mxy of 0 comma 0 will be equal to 1. Okay. So this is the first property of joint movement generating function. It says that marginal movement generating function can be obtained from the joint movement generating function. Okay. So mx of v1 can be written as mxy of v1 comma 0. Okay. My of v2 is equal to mxy of 0 comma v2. Okay. And mxy of 0 comma 0 is equal to 1. Okay. Now we'll see the proof of this. So you know that what is mxy of v1 comma v2? Mxy of v1 comma v2 is equal to, it is expected value of e power v1x into e power v2y. Okay, this is the formula to find out mxy of v1 comma v2. Now substitute v2 is equal to 0. If you substitute v2 is equal to 0, then mxy of 0 v1 comma 0 v1 comma 0 is equal to mxy of v1 comma 0 is equal to, it is expected value of e power v1x. Since v2 is 0, we get e power 0. So e power 0 value is 1. So that we will be getting expected value of e power v1x. Okay. So what is this? It is equal to, since you see now you have only one random variable, so this is mx and it is function of v1, so it is mx of v1. Okay. So like that we can obtain the marginal joint moment generating function from joint moment generating function. Okay. Similarly, substitute v1 is equal to 0. If you substitute v1 is equal to 0, what is that? We get fxy of 0 comma v2. So it is equal to expected value of e power 0 e power v2 y. Okay. So then what is that we get here? We get expected value of e power v2 y. So what is this? Here it is we have only one random variable y and it is function of v2. So it is m by v2. Now substitute v1 is equal to 0 and v2 is equal to 0. If you substitute v1 is equal to 0 and v2 is equal to 0, then we get fxy of 0 comma 0. So it is equal to what? Expected value of e power 0 into e power 0. So it is expected value of 1. So you know that what is the expected value of a constant will be equal to the same constant. So it is equal to 1. So it is a proof of our first property. The second property is that if x and y are two independent random variables, okay, then mxy of v1 comma v2 can be given as mx of v1 into my of v2. That is, the joint moment generating function will be equal to product of marginal moment generating function. Okay. So it is, what is this? It is joint moment generating function. Okay. Is equal to what? The product of marginal movement generating function. This is the second problem. Now let's see the proof of this here. Now we know that what is mxy of v1 comma v2. What is the formula for mxy of v1 comma v2? So it is given like this. It is expected value of e power v1x, e power v2y. This is the formula to find out the joint movement generating function. Okay. So it is equal to, so you know that what is the formula? It is integral minus infinity to plus infinity, integral minus infinity to plus infinity, e power v1x, e power v2y, fxy of x comma y, dx dy. Okay. Now we know that if x and y are independent random variables, if x and y are independent random variables, then fxy of x comma y can be written as fx of x into fy of y. Okay. So we will be substituting this in this equation. Substitute equation 2 in equation 1. Okay. Then equation 1 can be written as, that is mxy of, equation 1 can be written as mxy of v1 comma v2 can be written as integral minus infinity to plus infinity, integral minus infinity to plus infinity, e power v1x, e power v2y, okay, fx of x, fy of y, dx dy. Fx of x, fy of y, dx dy. Now we separate x variables and y variables and do this integration separately. Okay. So first integral we do for x variables, do the second integral for y variables. So we get like this. Okay. Now if you observe this equation, this is the equation for finding marginal movement generating function. See this, it is function of x, so it is mx, and we have variable v1, so it is mx of v1. So see the second variable, second equation, it is function of y, random variable y, and it is function of v2. So this can be written as mx of v1 into fy of v2. So from this we can say that mxy of v1 comma v2 is equal to mx of v1 into fy of v2. So this is the second property of joint movement generating function. The third property of joint movement generating function is that if x and y are two independent random variables, then mx plus y of b. Now it is function of only one variable b. Okay, but we have two random variables x and y. Okay, so in that case, this can be written as mx of b into my of b. Now let's see the proof of this. So we know that mx plus y of b can be written as, okay. Now what is the formula? So you have two random variables, so we have to take two integrals, one integral for the random variable x, and other integral for the random variable y. Okay, you have to consider two integrals here. One integral for random variable x and other integral for random variable y. Okay. Now it is e power, we are taking what is that? X plus y, no? So we are taking the random variable x plus y and it is function of b. So it is e power x plus y, okay, into b. Okay. So here we have, since we have two random variables, we have to consider the joint density function. Okay. Joint probability density function f(xy) of x comma y dx dy. Okay. Since x and y are independent, okay, are independent random variables. So you know that how do you write the joint density function? Fxy of x comma y can be written as fx of x into fy of y. Okay. So say you substitute this equation in equation 1, substitute equation 2 in equation 1. So equation 1, m x plus y of b can be written as integral minus infinity to plus infinity, integral minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, so integral minus infinity to plus infinity, integral minus infinity to plus infinity e power x plus y of b. Okay, fxy of x comma y dx dy. So here we are, since these two are independent random variables, this can be written as fx of x, fy of y dx dy. Okay. Now we separate x variables and y variables. So m x plus y of x b mxy of b can be written as integral minus infinity to plus infinity e power dx fx of x dx integral minus infinity to plus infinity e power b by fy of y dy. Now observe this, it is having the random variable x and what is that? We have the variable b, function of b. Similarly, if we observe this equation, we have the random variable y and it is function of b. Okay, so from this we can write mx plus y of b can be written as mx of b, my of b if x and y are independent random variables. Okay, this is our third property of joint movement generating function. The fourth property says that the joint movements can be obtained from joint movement generating function. Okay, we can obtain joint movements from joint movement generating function. Okay, that is our fourth property. How do we obtain joint movements? Joint movements are M and K. It is called joint movement. M and K can be obtained as rho power M plus K. Okay, Mxy of V1 comma V2 by rho V1 power n, rho V2 power k, substitute V1 is equal to 0 and V2 is equal to 0. So from this we can obtain what is that? The joint movement from the joint movement generating function. So joint movements can be obtained from the joint movement generating function. Now let's see the proof of this. So what is mxy of v1 comma v2? Mxy of v1 comma v2 is equal to expected value of e power v1x e power v2y. Now we write e power v1x and v2y in the form of series expansion form. Okay, so write series expansion for exponentials. For exponentials, we are writing series expansion form. Okay. So what is e power v1x can be written as 1 plus v1x plus v1 square x square by 2 factorial plus v1 cube x cube by 3 factorial plus so on. Like that we can write e power v1x. Okay. Similarly, e power v2y. E power v2y can be written as 1 plus v2y plus v2 square x y square by 2 factorial plus v2 cube y cube by 3 factorial plus so on. Okay. Now substitute 2 and 3. Take this as 2 and this as 3. Substitute 2 and 3 in equation 1. Okay. If you substitute 2 and 3 in equation 1, then nxy of v1 comma v2 can be written as expected value of 1 plus v1x plus v1 square x square by 2 factorial plus so on. Okay. Into 1 plus v2y plus v2 square y square by 2 factorial plus so on. So this can be written as, now we will multiply these two terms. If we multiply, what we get? 1 plus v1x plus v2y plus v1 square x square by 2 factorial plus v2 square y square by 2 factorial plus v1 v2 x y plus so on. Like that will be getting. Now we apply exponential this expectation to each and every term. Okay, if you apply expectation to each and every term, this can be written as expected value of 1 plus x. v1 is constant, no? Expected value of x. v2 is a variable. We can write it outside. We'll be writing what is expected value of y. So expectation we will be applying only for the random variables. Okay. So for x square and v2 square by 2 factorial, expected value of y square, okay, plus v1 v2 expected value of x1 plus so on. Okay. Now what is this? Is equal to 1 plus it is equal to v1. Okay. What is expected value of x? Okay. Expected value of x is nothing but m10. v2. What is expected value of y? It is m01. Okay. Similarly, v1 square by 2 factorial. Expected value of x square is m20. Okay, and v2 square by 2 factorial. Okay, expected value of y square is m02. Okay, then v1, v2, expected value of xy is m11 plus so on. Okay, take this as equation 4. Take this as equation 4. Now we are differentiating equation 4 with respect to v1. Substitute v1 is equal to 0. Okay. So what is that we are doing? We are differentiating mxy of v1 comma v2 with respect to v1. Substitute v1 is equal to 0. So if we substitute v1 is equal to 0, See, if you differentiate, what are the terms we are getting? So the differentiation of 1 is 0, 1 we will not get. So we will get m1 0, and this term we will not get. Here we get 2 b1 m2 0. Okay. Then here we get b2 m11. Substitute b1 is equal to 0 and b2 is equal to 0. So substitute b1 is equal to 0 and b2 is equal to 0. So if we substitute, what happens to these two terms? b2 is also 0. Substitute b2 also 0. Okay. Then we will be having only one term m10. We will be having only m10. Similarly, if you do partial differentiation with respect to v2, okay, then substitute v1 is equal to v2 is equal to 0. Then what is that we will be getting? Okay. So dou mxy of v1 comma v2 by dou v1, this one we have discussed. Substitute v1 is equal to 0, v2 is equal to 0, we got m10. Similarly, if you partially differentiate with respect to v2, okay, then substitute v1 is equal to 0 and v2 is equal to 0, we get m01. Okay, and similarly, if you do partial differentiation two times with respect to v1, we get m20. Okay, so that is dou mxy dou square. We are doing two times v1 comma v2 dou v1 square. Substitute v1 is equal to 0, v2 is also equal to 0. In that case, we get m20, small m2 0. So similarly, if you partially differentiate with respect to v2, dou v2 square, substitute v1 is equal to 0, v2 is equal to 0, then we get m02. Okay. Now if you do partial differentiation with respect to both v1 and v2, okay, so that is mxy v1 comma v2. Now we are doing partial differentiation with respect to both v1 and v2. So now we are substituting v1 is equal to 0, v2 is equal to 0, we get m11. Okay, by comparing all this, we can write m and k. Okay, see here, we are taking one means we are differentiating with respect to v1 only one times. This first one indicates how many times you are differentiating with respect to v1. The second term indicates how many times you are differentiating with respect to v2. Here, see here, we are differentiating with respect to v2 only two times. Okay, so we are differentiating v2 with respect to two times. Here, this is for v1. No? We are differentiating v1 with respect to v1 two times. Okay, so this n indicates how many times you are differentiating v1. Okay, how many times we are differentiating with respect to v1. Okay, and 2 indicates how many times we are differentiating with respect to v2. So finally we will be getting what is that? The joint movement from joint movement generating function. Okay, so this is dou v1 power. See here the denominator what we have, dou v1 power n, dou v2 power k. Dou v1 power n, dou v2 power k. Okay, any doubts here? Is it clear? Hello students. Dou v1 power n, dou v2 power k down. So here I am writing one thing. So dou v1 power n, dou v2 power